Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about another controversial topic, and it's really based on detransitioning, which I feel is one of the most controversial topics within the trans community, like outside. If you don't know what detransitioning is, basically when a person who's transitioned, let's say for me, I transitioned from female to male, detransition. So I would transition back to female and not identify as trans anymore, basically. So 4 years ago, actually, I made a video on my channel about me being 1 year on T and how I was going to stop T. The reason why I was stopping T was because the changes were a bit too fast for me. I don't like when my body changes so much. I'm really not like into change that much, which I've gotten over, but this is 4 years ago, chasey poo. Like I'm way different than then. So this video got taken from this blog. I don't want to mention it because like this person does not need any views. They're a horrible like radical lesbian feminist, whatever. They took my video and they're like, our lesbian is coming back to us, look at her, and like saying that I'm detransitioning. I was like, what is happening? How did these people are watching my video and they're like interpreting this? Like, what is happening? But like, thanks for the extra views. So I had to make a video called clarifications, I think I made. And I was literally in the video, I said, I am not detransitioning, I think 98 times. And they still interpreted it like I was detransitioning. And then like, whatever, I did not plan on detransitioning. It's not what I wanted to do. I still me, just because I'm going off of hormones for a couple of months doesn't mean I'm detransitioning. And then last year? No, this year. Let's just say like a couple months ago. I have no concept of time anymore. I made a video about my thoughts about people who detransition. This video got a lot of views only because I feel like people are super curious as what goes on in a person's head when they detransition, why people are detransitioning, what got them to detransitioning, and just detransition. And it just also, I think that there was a lot of views from like outside the community of people who were like either really interested in being like, oh, what is this concept? Oh, that's interesting that people do that. And then others being like, see, trans people aren't real. So now that we all know what that is and my history with this in my videos, what I want to talk about today is, could I detransition? I know that is such a weird video topic, but I've been thinking about this a lot in the last couple of days. And I really wanted to make a video about it. And the reason I've been thinking about it is because we got a lot of topics on Transtastic and like lots of messages, and I got a lot of comments about people who can't transition right now and have to wait for transition, and I don't know why. It really got me thinking, and what if I had to go back in time? Not like if I had the choice to transition earlier or would I have done it later, nothing like that. But I'm saying, what if I had to detransition right now? Could I do it? I still feel like I'm not really clear on my topic, but let me get into it and we'll probably be a little clearer in there. Could I live my life passing as female? Is basically the thoughts that I've had. And I'm not having these thoughts because that's what I want. I'm having these thoughts because it's an interesting concept to me, and I really like to push myself and push my mind and emotions into understanding things that I'm not really understanding right now, especially when I'm thinking about it. I want to know, why am I thinking about this? Is this something that's interesting to talk about? Should I make a video about this? Are other people feeling like this? Usually when people feel something, you're not alone. So that's why I want to make a video about it, because I'm sure that other people have thought about it, even if it's one person. Cool. So I'm thinking right now, if it was easier for me to live and not have to deal with trans things like surgery and hormones and dealing with insurance and like anxiety about traveling, like, oh my god, am I going to be able to get my androgel? Is it going to cost me like thousands of dollars if I move and need another doctor? Worrying about a hysterectomy and bottom surgery, all of these things are just so much to handle. What if I was like, I can't handle this anymore, I'm just gonna detransition? Would I be able to handle it? There you go, that makes more sense. So let's say, hypothetically, that it was too much for me and I could not handle being trans anymore. I was getting discriminated against, I couldn't. I'm like, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna go detransition. And I'm thinking, would my mentality be able to handle it? Would I be able to walk in the world and still be okay? I think not. I don't really feel like this is really a topic, but let's just talk. Let's just have a convo. If I was to go outside right now and I had detransition, I stopped hormones for over a year. I still had facial hair, but I like whatever, electrolysis or whatever, laser hair removal. Let my hair grow out, although that doesn't really matter. My face started looking more feminine, like a female feminine looking face. And I started, I never wore like women's clothes, but I started, I guess, wearing more female feminine clothes. Although, what is female clothes? What is feminine clothes? Like, you know what I mean? Like what society deems as female. Like I would, you know what I'm saying? Oh God, I hate these labels. I hate gender binary and like going to the store and like being on one side and the other. Anyways, that's for another video. What really matters to me right now is my mind, right? Could I handle being misgendered? But in my mind, there, if it was hypothetical, I would be correctly gendered. Long story short, no. I honestly don't think that it's a choice for me. I can't even imagine it. Like I'm trying to let my brain deal with it and just see the possibility, and I can't. And to me, that reaffirms that I am trans. There's no fucking way that I'm not trans. I am trans. I am a guy. There's no way. If I had to go back and be called my old name and be called she and her all the time, I can't. Imagine what kind of emotional toll that would have on me. My depression would be so bad that I would probably kill myself. Like it's so bad. And I think that it's important to look at, because I think like, am I just thinking that I could never detransition because I've lived as male for so long and it's the idea that I've had in my mind for so long, like I'm trans, I'm a guy, and I'm just so used to this and I'm comfortable with it, and like going back is like a no way idea? Or is it just because I'm truly male and it's just not an option to do that? And I really think that it's that one, because it gives me anxiety to think about my past as living as a woman and a girl and a teenage girl more at it, and now having to switch over again and live as like a young adult. It doesn't exist to me. That concept is not existent, because it's almost like I left that life behind knowing that it wasn't my life, and now I'm here and this is who I was supposed to be my entire life. And if I had to go back, it's not a thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and I think that that's a lot of issues. People who think that just detransition, you're fine. Trans people don't really exist. You'll be fine. Really? Imagine if all these trans people were to detransition, like what, like 98% of us would die? Like, are you kidding me? You can't, whatever. Anyways, that's like super depressing. I don't even know what I'm talking about this. But I think it's an interesting topic, and that's why I'm gonna put this video on my YouTube channel and I'm gonna leave it. This video is kind of all over the place. I'm not really making sense, but I wanna put it on because I wanna have this conversation. I don't know why I wanna have this conversation. It's kind of giving me anxiety thinking about the past and like going back in the future. But I think it's interesting because it creates a larger picture that trans people are actually trans, and it works. Like it's a thing. Not that it works, but like, you know, like I'm not just lying and saying I've always wanted to be a guy because I hate, because I love the patriarchy and I hate women and I'm like internally misogynistic. Like, no, that's not why I transitioned. I transitioned because I had no other choice. Because I knew that this is the person here that I am today is who I was supposed to be. I saw myself. I could see it. In the future, I'm supposed to be this person, but I couldn't see it while I was still myself. So I had to transition, and I got out of that cage and was able to see myself. So I think it's just an interesting topic for me to, that it came up to my head. I don't feel like anybody would really talk about this because it's such like, why am I thinking about detransitioning? Like, I'm not thinking about detransitioning, but why is it a thought that came to my mind, like, could I? You know? I don't know. Would it make my life easier? Obviously it wouldn't, but I think that it's important to talk about because I feel like people don't think that it's normal to think about things like this. I think it's normal, and I'm not saying it's normal because I'm having these thoughts, like I'm not like Jesus, like everything is normal if I do it. No, but I just think like, come on. Come on. Like, thoughts are thoughts. It doesn't mean that you're gonna actually go through with them, right? Anyways. Weird video, I know. Sorry, have a great week. I'm here to showcase the diversity in this community, especially in different countries, and have people watch how people transition in different countries.